Yahoo! What's up, guys? Today we're gonna go through 5 wakeboard tricks that you can learn in less than 5 minutes and without falling. Now, these 5 tricks are aimed for more beginner to intermediate level riders, and these tricks you might have never even thought of trying before, but once you see how easy you can actually do them, you're gonna give them a go. Woo! So let's get into this tutorial, baby. Let's go. So the first trick we're gonna talk about today are slides. So let's say you just learned how to hit your first obstacle, and right now you're just going straight 50-50 across this rail and you don't know what to do next. So here are 4 different slides that you can learn first try, starting with a board slide, a toe side front lip, woo! A classic back lip, and finally the toe side front board. Oppa! So if you just learned how to ride through your first rail straight and 50-50, I'd recommend going for the board slide first, whether that obstacle is on your heel side and you're gonna go heel side board slide, or whether it's on your toe side and you're gonna go toe side front lip. So to initiate the board slide, you're gonna pull that front hand into your front hip. Imagine a football in front of your back binding, and you're just gonna kick that football and pull into your hip at the same time. 1, 2, 3, kick the football, pull into the hip, and just hold the handle by the hip. You're then gonna come into the obstacle you're comfortable with riding, ride up it, pull into the hip, kick that football, hold the handle by your hip, and then just release as you come off the obstacle. And if you're going toe side, it's the exact same thing. Get on top of the obstacle, pull into the hip, kick that football, and then just let your arm out and bring the foot back as you're coming off the obstacle. You might not get into a perfect board slide on your first try, so this is how you can kind of break it up to make sure you don't fall, and to learn this trick within 5 minutes and making it super easy for yourself. So the first lap, you're just gonna ride up the obstacle, give a small kick and a small pull, and kind of be like this, kind of in between a 50-50 and a board slide. And then each lap you're just going to want to pull a little harder and kick a little harder till you're in that perfect board slide position. Okay, so now for the back lip, same thing, except now the football is not in front of your back binding, it's behind your heel, behind your back binding. So you're going to pull into the hip and kick backwards. Boom. Let's go into the obstacle. You're gonna ride up, pull into the hip, kick the football with the back of your heel, boom, and just hold the handle close to your hip to lock that back lip position. Now if you're going toe side for the front board, maybe it's easier to imagine a football in front of your front foot and kick it out that way while you're pulling into your hip. Boom. Same exact thing as with the board slide, work your way up to it. First lap you might only be like this, you might only start turning a bit. Each lap, as you go around and get more comfortable, pull a little harder, kick a little harder till you're in that perfect front board or back lip position. Then when the board slide and the back lip both feel great, you're gonna pick a leg to land on and just push into that leg. So let's start with the board slide. You're gonna go board slide and push on that front leg so that you're doing a nice kind of more nose slide than just a flat board slide. It'll look a lot sexier and it'll feel a lot sexier. And now the same exact thing with the back leg. Let's pick the back leg. So we're gonna land and push into that back leg. Boom, so it's much more of a back tail slide than just a flat back lip. Looks sexier and feels sexier. Now guys, there's no point rushing the process here. If you need 10 laps to get into that perfect board slide or into that perfect back lip, do it, because what you don't want is on the first lap to just go bum, pull full send on the back lip, slip out, maybe get close to hitting your face or hitting your butt, and then you're scared to try it. Work your way up, feel it, feel it, feel it, so that when you end up getting it, you can do it super controlled and make it look good. Now let's get into trick number 2. I would say the same difficulty as trick number 1, but we are now going to be talking about the tail press, and the nose press. Woo! So just like with the board slides and the back lips, when you're working on the tail presses and the nose presses, work your way up to them. Pick a leg you want to start with. I wouldn't say one of them is easier than the other. Maybe the tail press is just slightly easier because you're leaning back on the rope rather than going into it, but it's more of which leg you feel more comfortable pushing into. So let's start with the tail press. When you do the tail press, you want to push 80% of your weight into that back leg and pull that front leg up. Boom, and all while keeping this hand super locked, handle kind of close to your hip, and just keeping the elbow close to your wrist, not letting the handle out, and just pushing in and trying to get as low as possible and keep pulling that front leg up to really get the bend on the wakeboard. Now let's go for one on the left side here. Boom, push into the back leg, keep the handle locked in, and just keep pulling that front leg up to really bend the wakeboard. Your first presses will probably look like this. The board won't even be going up. You won't even feel like you're pressing. But as long as each lap you're putting 5 or 10% more into that back leg and just pulling slightly harder on that front leg, after let's say 5 to 8 laps, you'll be doing a pretty decent tail press. Now with the nose press, it's the same thing, but the other leg. You're gonna wanna maybe push the handle a little more under the hip just to help you get even lower. You're gonna put 80% of weight into that front leg. Boom, and with that back leg, you're gonna be pulling the board up, same as the tail press, to create that nice bend on the board. A good way to start is just by slightly putting maybe 20% weight on that front leg and just bringing the weight forward a little bit without pulling the back leg, just to know what it's like to slide on that front leg. And as it starts to feel more and more comfortable, put more and more weight on that front leg, push harder into that front leg, get lower, and really pull that back leg up as much as you can. You know you're doing a good nose press when you're at that point when you're like, I might flip forward now, but if I don't and I hold this till the end, this will be the best nose press I ever do. Guys, it's the summertime and there's much more of you out on the water now. So please go let me know down in the comments what kind of tutorials you guys want for this summer season. What tricks are you working on? What do you guys need help with? And we'll definitely get more tutorials out on the channel soon. But now let's get into trick number 3 that you can learn without falling in about 5 to 6 laps. So trick number 3 is a trick that I think a lot of beginners see pros doing and think it might be too advanced for them, but it's actually super easy. Can you guys guess what it'll be? Trick number 3 is boom, taps. Up, 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 boom. Now there are many different ways you guys can tap way on obstacles, but we're gonna start with the most basic one, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to do it in 5 laps with these 5 steps. So the first lap, you're just gonna ride up the obstacle you're most comfortable with. Something like a rainbow or a box is perfect. And when you get to the halfway point, you're just gonna do a little hop. Second lap, we're gonna do a little hop in the middle again, but with a little shifty in the air. So just like you would do for a board slide, pull into the hip, kick that football. So we're gonna ride up the rail, hop, small shifty, and try land back in 50-50. Lap number 3 might seem a little bit scary, but don't worry, we were going at 30 kilometers an hour. You're gonna clear the plastic. So you're just gonna ride the obstacle till the end, and that last half meter, you're gonna jump off a little early and just try skip that last half meter of the obstacle. So now on lap number 4, you're gonna do your first kind of tap, and it's gonna be just like lap number 2 where you did your jump and your little shifty, but now you're just gonna push that front leg a little bit down as you're going for that shifty. Don't focus on jumping up too much, just focus on jumping enough so you can push that front leg down and touch the obstacle. So we're gonna get to the halfway spot, little jump, boom, push that board down, tap the obstacle, and then just land back on your back foot as your board comes back from sliding on the nose to the tail. Now if it takes you a few laps to touch your board on the obstacle, no worries at all. This is one of the more crucial steps, so spend a couple more laps on this step if you need to, because on lap number 5, you're gonna be going for your first tap out of the obstacle. So it's gonna be just like what you did in the middle, but you're gonna jump off the rail about, let's say, a meter to half a meter to the end, jump, push that nose down, and just bring the board back under you as you're coming off the obstacle into the water. It doesn't matter what tap you want to do, you're always going to want to jump, push whichever leg down towards the rail, and then continue. So let's go for a little 180, push that back leg down, and then continue the rotation into the landing. Man, and I hope this tutorial is helping you guys out. If it is, please go like the video, it really helps me a lot. Now let's get into trick number 4, which is for my guys who have just learned how to ride up that kicker and are looking for an easy trick that you won't fall on or won't get hurt on and that you can learn super quick. And so for trick number 4, we are going to be talking about how to do a grab off the kicker. There are many different grabs that you can do on a wakeboard, but we're going to be talking about the indie grab, which I would say is the easiest grab and first grab you should learn. And once you learn the indie grab, you can do any grab there is out there, because it is the same basic for the indie grab as it is for any other grab on a wakeboard. An important thing when you're grabbing is you want to bring your knees up to your chest, bring your board to you, and don't go reach for the board, because if you're reaching for the board, it'll put you in an axis where you're bending forward and it might send you forward and you won't land on your feet. So when you come off the kicker, you're going to want to pop straight up, bring those knees up to you, and try bring the board to you rather than reach for it. So at first you're just going to bring the legs up and just try like slap the board. If you can feel the board with a few fingers, you're already on the right track. And so this first lap, we just slapped the top of the board with our fingers. Now we're gonna try bring the knees a little more up high and just slap the corner of the board, which is where you would eventually be grabbing. So let's come into that kicker with a nice easy edge, and let's just bring the board a little higher and try to touch the corner of the board. Boom. Each lap as you go off the kicker, bend those legs a little more, bring them up to your chest a little more, and just try to get more and more of a grab on your board till you got a nice solid grab. This process can take 2 laps, it can also take 15, it all depends on you, and it doesn't matter. Take your time with it. The more time you spend on it, the more you perfect it, the better you'll be grabbing your board in the long run. And now when it's getting easy, you're gonna wanna bring your knees right up to your chest and get a solid grab on the board. Boom. And you know you're doing a good grab when you got your hand on the board for like a good solid second. And if you want to go for any other grab, it's kind of the same idea. Let's say if we're talking about the tail grab, instead of bringing both legs up, since you only want to grab the tail, you're just going to bring that back leg up here to your chest, just to bring that tail closer to you, and you're just going to go and reach for the grab. We're going to come with a nice heel side edge to that kicker, pop, and bring that back leg up to me. Boom, just to make that board a little closer and easier to grab. Now, same as every trick we've talked today, if you go step by step, go for a little touch, then get a couple more fingers on there, then a mini grab, then a good grab, you can get this trick without falling in a session of 5 to 10 laps. And then once you got the indie grab, I'd recommend the tail grab, then maybe a melon grab, then a sailfish, then a nose. Then eventually, you'll be adding that grab to spins. Woo! Woo! And we've made it to our final trick. Trick number 5, which is going to be laybacks. Whether it's on an obstacle or on the water, you do them slightly differently. They're both stylish, they're both easy to learn, and they both feel good and look good. Let's start with the layback on the rainbow. You're gonna wanna kind of push your weight into that back leg like a tail press, bring your hand to the end of the box, and then just like let yourself fall back. Keep this arm long so that it just lets you fall kind of on that back hip. So boom, you're just going and you're just letting all your weight back there. You're not worrying about sliding on your hip, on your arm, but just don't worry to get low. Almost like a butt slide. So if you take it step by step, the first lap, you're maybe just gonna go up and then just go for like a small tail press and just put your hand right behind your board. And then each lap, you're gonna go further and further back, so right behind all the way till that board goes out in front of you. And to bring the board back under you, to get out of that layback position, to get the board back under you, you're gonna give one strong pull, so everything you let out, you're gonna pull that all back into your hip to get the board back under you. So when you're doing a good layback, it's basically gonna feel like you're fully laying on that rail. And if you don't pull yourself back, well, you're falling backwards off the rail. And now for the tail slide or tail spray in the corner, it's basically the same idea, but it's almost more like you're doing a tail press, except you're using the water to really push into it and pull that front leg up just like you do on a tail press, but here you don't have plastic under you, you have water under you, so you can go even further back, push the hand, like try to push your hand at least a couple centimeters underwater to really help you get all your weight back and pull that front leg up to really bend the board. So let's go for a tail spray. This is probably the trick I get asked by most of my students how to do. Push into the water, boom! And really try bend the board as much as you can. And so to start the tail slide, you're gonna wanna just do a small tail press on the water, lean back, see how far back you can get and how much you can actually bend that front leg just under the cable on the front straight. Then when that's comfortable, you're gonna come around to the corner and you're just gonna do the same thing as you're coming around. Push back, lean back, pull that front leg up. And then when that's feeling good, you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna try put your hand in the water slightly as you're doing that little tail press movement around the corner. Once you've got your hand in the water doing that small tail press, it's all up to you how many more laps you need to get fully into a nice tail spray, tail drag around the corner. So it's all up to you now. Now it's all about how much you want to push your hand in the water, how much you want to pull that front leg up, and how hard you want to pull into the back leg. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh man, this trick feels so good. It's a good way to cool yourself off. If anything, I feel like it's a trick I'm not doing enough of lately. Yee-hoo! Let's get back to shore, baby. That's a wrap. Those are 5 tricks that you guys can learn in 5 minutes on your wakeboard for all my beginner to intermediate riders to maybe some advanced riders who've never thought of trying these tricks, like maybe the tap or the tail slide, tail spray in the corners. But I really hope this video helps you guys out. Please go like the video if it did, and go let me know down in the comments what kind of tutorials you guys want in the future. But before we wrap up the video, in last week's video we did a sexy $100 giveaway, and when I do these giveaways, usually I take everyone who's eligible to win, who liked the video, commented, and is subscribed. I put you into a randomizer and I pick the random guy to win fairly. But this week, one guy fucking blew my mind. He shocked me. I asked you guys to write how many tricks I did. And this guy didn't just tell me that I did 66 tricks between the two parks. He literally wrote them all down. I'll pop it up here, poof. I can't even pop everything up there because he wrote so much in that comment. It's the biggest comment I've ever seen on my channel. So, Finley X Smith, you have won this week's giveaway. Boom, this guy, you're the winner of the $100. Hit me up on Instagram, send me your PayPal, and I will send you 100 sexy dollars. That's a wrap for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's been a while since I've made one. If you guys want more, please let me know in the comments. We'll be giving away much more money on the channel in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned. Every video could be a chance for you to win some sexy money, and it's a wrap. See you guys on Sexy Monday.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.